We begin in Tanzania, where the Electoral Commission has begun announcing results from the country's general election. An election now marred by violence, controversy, and growing international concern. This as business came to a standstill at the Kenya-Tanzania border, where angry youth on the Tanzanian side engaged police in running battles as they protested yesterday's alleged shambolic elections.
The Tanzanian Electoral Commission, chaired by Justice Jacobs Mwambegele, has started releasing results of this week's general election. As widely anticipated, incumbent President Samia Suluhu Hassan is leading the count. While 17 presidential candidates competed in the race, including 6 women, political observers say none posed a serious challenge to President Hassan. This is after the country's 2 main opposition leaders were barred from running. That is Chadema party leader Tundu Lissu and ACT Wazalendo party's Luhaga Mpina.
The people of Tanzania have also made their demands very clear. They've posted on X over the past weeks what are their demands, which reinforces the demands for no reform, no election by Tundu Lissu and Chadema party. So there's very clear Tanzanian-led demands which they felt need to be implemented prior to having any free and fair election in Tanzania. And one thing that they've stated is that considering the lack of validity of this government, there should be an immediate transition into an interim government which can implement their demands and the constitutional reforms that are required to be able to proceed with a free and fair election.
Tensions remain high across Tanzania following widespread protests on election day. On Wednesday, demonstrators took to the streets, primarily in the commercial capital of Dar es Salaam, vandalizing polling stations. There are reports that a number of police stations were set ablaze during the unrest. The chaos has spread to the Kenya-Tanzania border. Earlier today, business was paralyzed at the Namanga one-stop border point between Kenya and Tanzania as agitated Tanzanian youth protested the alleged shambolic elections, grounding tourist vehicles and cargo trucks while clearance at customs was halted.
Haiwezekani tu uchaguzi unafanyika alafu opposition leader yuko ndani. Hizo ni kura gani aise? Si bora tu yani bora kuliko kungekuwa na uchaguzi jana ungefanya sherehe kumwapisha huyu mama.
The Principal Secretary of Interior in Kenya has warned Kenyan youth against joining their peers in Tanzania.
As a country, we have laws and regulations that guides whether it's demonstrations or protests. And my appeal is that anyone who might want to be engaged or participate in any form of protest or demonstrations, let's do what the law allows us to do.
In response to the protests, the Tanzanian government imposed an indefinite dusk-to-dawn curfew in Dar es Salaam. Government spokesman Gershon Msigwa has also instructed all government employees to work from home. Adding to the communications blackout, authorities have shut down the internet nationwide, severely limiting contact with the outside world. The election has drawn sharp criticism from the international community. Uganda's Bobi Wine on X stated that he stands in solidarity with the people of Tanzania who are defying odds to protest against what he terms as electoral injustice and impunity. Members of the European Parliament have issued a statement declaring that the Tanzanian elections were neither free nor fair. The European lawmakers emphasize that no election can be credible when the main opposition is silenced, when freedom of assembly and expression is denied, and when independent media is intimidated, further stating that reports of irregularities, of obstruction of observers, and targeted violence against critical voices have further eroded the integrity of the electoral process. While the European Union did not send observers to monitor these elections, delegates from the African Union, the East African Community, and the South African Development Community (SADC) were present. This election comes 5 years after the 2020 polls, which saw a voter turnout of just over 50%. In that election, the ruling CCM party secured an overwhelming 99% of parliamentary seats. Catherine Omwando, NTV.